Let's see, is it on air? I'm not entirely sure. Okay, I am live. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Bear with me. I'm a little new to this whole Google Hangouts thingamajigger. Um, but I will be talking quick very soon. I just need to finish putting links up and otherwise sorting this whole thing out. For those of you who are wondering what's going on, since I've mostly moved to live radio at this point, the event I have been long time associated with, Jeff Mock event, and specifically Wicked Faire, which is this weekend, has had a whole. Let's be honest, let's call it a shitstorm. This isn't going to be monetized anyway. But I wanted to address this whole situation, which is what this video is going to be. Okay, there we go. But hold on. Address this whole situation, which is what this video is. There we go. I'll be good to go in just one more moment. There we go. Okay, so good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. If anybody's wondering what this is about, it is about the well-known alternative event. I don't know what else to call it, quite honestly. Jeff Mock Events. That is happening this weekend, which is February 2nd through the 4th, that I will be speaking at live. I'll be talking about that in a minute. At the moment, I'm more going to be addressing the bigger situation of what's going on, unfortunately. And specifically the changeovers and the concerns that the very understandable concerns people have with the situation. Because this is a huge mess. So for those of you who don't know, and this is painful because I've been associated with this a long time, and I considered up until the last week Jeff to be a friend. Jeff Mock Events is to be clear, it's no longer known as Jeff Mock Events. It's now known as, or at the moment it's known as Just Magical Events, as I understand it. They're going to be changing the name after Wicked Faire to something else entirely, and we're going to get into that in a minute. I first want to address what's going on, why people are so upset, before I start getting into the responses to it, my feelings on it, and all of the other things I want to talk about. So, at any rate, for those of you who aren't aware, who are probably wondering why the heck I'm talking about all of this on my channel, it's a series of events that's been going on for years. I've been attending, for 6, 7, maybe 8 years now, for quite a while. I speak regularly at Wicked Faire, Steampunk World's Fair. I've spoken at a series of other events, including Dark Side of the Con. They were all founded by a man by the name. Dark Side of the Con is being run by Vampire Freaks, which is something else to get into. But by the name of Jeff Mock, hence JME. Now, for some years now, I'm very sorry to say, there has been a series of financial problems with a number of performers and staff not getting paid what they were owed, or at least they feel they were owed. I am not entirely privy to all sides of the conversations here. I'm not privy to contracts here. I'm not going to get into that because contract disputes and things like that are bad. I'm not condoning that. I'm not condoning the fact that people, even from the people who've taken over since, my understanding seems to be there are people that deserve to be paid that have not been paid. And I'm not condoning that by any way, shape, or form. But honestly, with respect to those people, and some of them are friends of mine, so I'm not trying to be disrespectful at all in the observation I'm about to make. But I think it's the lesser concern. There's a much bigger problem that has come to light recently, which unfortunately has been acts of sexual assault, violations of the concept of consent, of willingly being involved in sexual activity by both Jeff Mock himself and by members of security staff and certain performers. To say the least, this absolutely disgusts me. It disgusts. It's horribly immoral, unacceptable. I'm ashamed. I am personally ashamed to have been associated and considered a friend someone involved in this kind of activity. And let me be clear with everything else I'm about to say over the course of this discussion. I am firmly, entirely, completely of the opinion that you believe the victims. At no point should anything I'm going to say right now be construed as me saying that the people who have brought these accusations forward are lying, deceitful, dishonest, or should not be trusted. That's not true. You should believe people have the courage to come forward with these kinds of accusations. I believe that. I stand by that. Now, so now that I've laid out the situation for anyone who doesn't know, and frankly, honestly, if you don't know what's going on and you're not going to the event, I'm sort of wondering why you'd be watching at this point. But, and if anyone's wondering, no, I don't know the people. I know some of the people making financial accusations. I don't want to get into naming names. I don't want to go down that road. I know at least one of them is on my friends list. Has probably seen the post about me doing this. If they wish to come on and speak, they are absolutely welcome to. If they don't want to speak, they're welcome to not do so. I'm not dropping names without knowing that people would want me to do so, out of respect for the people and out of respect for the victims. Let me put it like that. It's more, I don't want to put anyone in an awkward position who's on the receiving end of this. Jeff's the one who runs the company. Bringing his name into it is unavoidable, and I wouldn't really want to not do that, even if I had that option. So, all of that being said, what is the response that's going on right now from Just Magical Events? Now, as you may tell from the name, they've changed their name. They used to be known as Jeff Mock Events. They are now, at the moment, going by this other name. Word is that after this event, they're going. I'll clarify that as well. But after this event, they're going to be changing their name to something else. I don't know what that is. But the reason that they're keeping, as I've been informed, the reason they're keeping the name is actually really, really simple. These accusations came out a week ago, literally. Some of them are, especially the financial stuff has been circulating for years. A lot of the sexual stuff I hadn't heard about before. I don't think a lot of other people, looking at other people commenting on the situation, I don't think they'd heard about it either. That's a pretty significant reason, in my opinion, to not want to get into, to be in this position. They can't change the name at this point. I mean, they've had a week to deal with it. The flyers, the name tags, everything is printed with JME on it. Now, it doesn't say Jeff Mock Events, it just says JME. So, as I understand it, they picked the simplest solution, which is change what it stands for, and then change the rest as time goes on. Which I understand. I even can say I respect that. For anyone who is listening now, I see, according to the counter at the bottom, I've got 2 viewers. I do have chat open. I will take comments there. Again, I will certainly consider including anyone who wants to join me. If you do, send me a message on Facebook or in chat with your Google email so I can add you to the Hangout. I can only at this point talk for myself, but that option is open to people who wish to take it. For those of you who don't, I will also be discussing this at some length, to some extent tomorrow on the radio show. Tammy Ships, who is the woman who's taken over as CEO of Jeff Mock Events, is actually going to come on. I don't want to get real in having her on. I don't want to get super bogged down in this situation because I just want to, at this point, for reasons I'm about to get into, I want to promote the event. So here's the thing. As I see it, I don't know. I haven't known Tammy Ships very long. We've been communicating a bit today. I watched for those of you who don't know, I recommend going to Just Magical Events Facebook page and watching the video she made at 9 p.m. last night to address this herself. I'll be completely honest with everyone at this point. I was ready to wash my hands of the entire thing. I was seriously considering, because I don't have that much money invested. Not even just canceling my involvement with the event, even though I had said prior to yesterday that I was still planning on going. Just because the concerns are so serious and so depressing and so unfortunate. Watching what Tammy said really won me over to the fact that wasn't what I wanted to do anymore. That, watching what she had to say is why I'm sitting here having this discussion now. It's why I chose to invite her onto the radio show last night. I do not condone anything that Jeff has done. I don't condone anything Jeff has said. My opinion, having watched what she has to say, is that I think she's inherited a shitstorm and she's trying to make it right. And I wish her well in that. Wicked Faire has been a wonderful event for me and many other people. This is where I met my fiancée, Amisha Campbell, for God's sakes. It has a special place to me. Wicked Faire is the very first event I started speaking at. And it very much has been a catalyst to everything that has come since, with doing YouTube and doing the radio show and doing other things of that nature. I don't necessarily want to see that all the good things that it has done go. I am willing to give them. I'm not wholeheartedly endorsing everything the company is doing from here on out either. I want to see what happens. Particularly, I'm going to be looking at what's happening at Wicked Faire. I'm going to be looking at what's happening with Steampunk World's Fair in May. I want to see. They have put forward this plan that Jeff is getting cut out of the picture entirely. He is not financially benefiting from any of these events. He is banned from appearing at them. I believe them. I'm not calling anyone a liar. Don't think I am. But I do. At this point, so much trust has been lost on such a fundamental level from somebody I respected, somebody I liked, somebody I considered a friend. I want to see it, and I'm willing, if they hold to, if I'm right and they hold to what they're saying, I'm willing to continue to endorse these events. I'm willing to continue to attend these events, because screw everything that's happened, screw the accusations and all of that. I like the community. I like the people that go. I like, there are many people on staff that I consider friends, that I have respect for. There are vendors, there are performers that I know and I've known for years that I have enormous respect for, that I want to support. I don't want to see that part of this die. And the thing is, I'm very happy. I will say this, there's been a lot of talk right now in particular about what was happening with the event itself. Is it going to happen? Is it going to die? And the answer is, from what I've been told at this point, is yes. Wicked Faire is happening this weekend. So the people, there are a lot of people that have invested, and I'm happy for that. And let me explain why. Aside from, okay, should I take this off so you can use, or I don't even know how to. Could you not join the Hangout?
Both laptops are being finicky for one reason or another.
Probably the internet. Yeah, I'm just trying.
With the one in the bedroom, mine, I think it's the power.
My problem is figuring out how to the microphones and having to change it midway through.
Test. Yeah, I don't see it moving.
Yeah, it's not going to pick you up enough for this to work, unfortunately. Maybe take the laptop down, one of the laptops downstairs, and see how it goes.
Yeah, that's where my laptop is currently.
I don't know. I really don't.
Hold on, let me see. Microphone.
Okay. Did you just shut it off?
No.
Okay.
I just switched over the microphone thing.
I don't see a way to.
HD webcam.
Yeah, let's see if this works. Okay, let's see. Talk.
Test. I see the thing moving.
Okay, folks in chat, can you hear Amisha when she speaks? Can somebody's watching, let me know either in chat or on Facebook if you can hear her. The moment we'll do this like this. I think it's working though. So yeah, at this point, Amisha, my fiance, those of you who haven't watched the radio show, and shame on you, may not know that this is my fiance, my right-hand woman in all the work that we've been doing. Still paranoid that it is.
You can see the green bars moving.
I know, I just would appreciate some confirmation beyond that, because I'm a paranoid boo-boo bear. But yeah, we met at, I think, Steampunk World's Fair,
yeah.
I popped the question at Wicked Faire. It's been a big part of our lives for a long time. Again, I can't entirely say for sure where this is going from here. I understand a lot of people are hesitant. But I do want to make a case for people coming to Wicked Faire if you're comfortable doing so. I understand, because Jeff's out, which is great. Some of the other people who accusations have been made against, and I don't know all the details and names there, so I'm not going to just start dropping names. Both because I don't know, and I don't want to get into gossip, and of course the legal realities of making such accusations. And now I'm losing people. But here was the thing I would keep in mind. If you're not going because you have a safety concern, that makes sense to me. I'm not begrudging people for that. If you're not doing this to keep, if you're deciding to back out to get back at Jeff, here's the thing. The event's still going on, so thankfully the concern that they had raised last night about losing too many rooms is resolved. But there are performers like myself, Daniel Greenwolf, Voltaire, and Munchausen Society, and a number of others that are still going, that are still performing. I'm going to have some merchandise with me. Very exciting. I'm just, after I finish this video, going to be wrapping up the third of a series of 4 lectures that we're going to be placing on the thumb drives to offer to people, with lessons on how to be a paranormal investigator, if that's the sort of thing you're interested in. I am going to be, I think Brian said he was going to have t-shirts, or at least some merchandise. Sure. We may have some show-related merchandise as well. I honestly don't know. Other performers will have those kinds of things. People are always looking for tips. Winter is a difficult time for vendors, especially niche vendors, like they come to these sorts of events. A lot of the, Wicked is one of the few big events at this time period. The only other big one I know in this area would be Dreamation, which is an event run by what's the name of the company? Double Exposure, which is a really wonderful event. By all means, but it's a gamer event, so it's a somewhat niche situation.
And some of the niche don't cross over.
Yeah. There are a lot of gamers that come to Wicked Faire, but there are plenty of Wicked Faire type people that wouldn't go to a gamer event. And then there's the whole history between the 2 conventions, which is a whole other thing into itself that we're not getting into. It's like, no, all of the nope. But, I've done a number of Double Exposure events and had a wonderful time. I've done JME events and had a wonderful time. I'm not bad mouthing.
Did you send a link to a couple of people on Facebook?
Like who?
Our friend Leah, our friend Gil.
Why don't you phone do that? So I would consider if my understanding at this point is that Jeff is out of this in a financial way. So if you're not going to get back at him, it's not really. It seems like it's not really working. Maybe, I don't know for 100% certain. I'm just going on what I've been personally told. I want to think the best of the people that are trying to salvage this. And well, like I said, I don't know Tammy very well. I believe that she sounded sincere watching the video. I can't comment on her as a person beyond the fact that my interaction so far has been positive. But Annie Whitehouse, who is basically as I understand it, basically her second in command in this situation, I've known for a number of years. I know her husband, Mike Whitehouse, for a number of years through the events, and I firmly, honestly believe that they're both good people, and that they're trying to make this into something that people can feel safe attending. Again, if you don't feel safe, I'm not begrudging you not going because you're not comfortable. I understand that. If you're doing this out of a sense of vengeance, I'm asking that you reconsider that, because while you may or may not be affecting Jeff, I don't know, you are definitely affecting performers, vendors who do need the support.
Some of which are just as disgusted as you are. In fact, most of which are.
Yeah, if you do look at the vendors and performers that are coming to the event, most of us, from what I've personally seen, have publicly come out and said, no, we don't condone or support what's going on. I've seen statements from Voltaire. I've seen statements from Lilith Lore, Daniel Greenwolf, a ton of vendors, and a ton of other people all coming out. Nobody is supporting or condoning the abuse that's going on, that has gone on, nor have any of these other people that aren't involved in the staff condoning the financial treatment of others that has been going on. And the word from staff, and again, I can only go by what I'm being told. I'm not an insider by any means. Is that they're trying to use this to pay people, so that the people that are on staff are not making any money off of this. I can't say for 100% certain that's true. I want to air, because again, I know the White House's, and having seen the video and my standing opinion that she's sincere, I want to err on the side of believing people. I can understand why people might not. I would also say this. There are reports I'm hearing back and forth from all sides. Yes, no, maybe, that vendors, performers, attendees, and the hotel itself have been threatened. This is not acceptable. This is every rational person on either side of this, I think, will agree with me that being angry at Jeff, legitimate, understandable, agreeable. Being angry at the other people,
be angry at Jeff until the end of the world.
Yeah, be angry at the other perpetrators of what's going on, but especially, performers and vendors. Like I said, vendors have a lot of money wrapped up in this event. You can't, on a week's notice, you can't cancel the van you may have rented, the hotel room. Actually, you can. They've been allowing people to cancel the hotel rooms, the vendor space that you've paid for, the additional admissions that you paid for, and the vendor space isn't cheap. I just saw a post saying it was somewhere in the neighborhood of $400 a spot, and people are buying multiple spots.
And JME does not have the money to pay these people back for canceling.
And here's the thing, especially, the event at this point isn't being canceled. If the event had been canceled, and it would have been a situation, and people are saying that it should have been canceled, then Witterson's LLC, the parent company, regains control, files bankruptcy, and nobody gets paid. So this isn't, if we shut the event down, people are going to get paid. Nobody's, it's bankruptcy. Nobody gets paid. That's how it works. I'm not an economist, but I know that much. I don't want to see that happen. again, direct your anger where it belongs, to the perpetrators. Don't direct it towards the people who are stuck in the middle. And I want to say, a lot of people, and I commend them for this, are publicly saying, yeah, it's unfair to be angry with vendors and performers, but I have seen people in particular who are like, well, yeah, but we should be, but that's a different thing with attendees. That's not fair either. And let me explain why on a couple of levels. One, if no one attends, then the vendors and performers are up, what, Shit's Creek without a paddle. Because if there's nobody to buy the merchandise, they might as well not have come.
There's a lot of people who, again, and Wicked Faire has nothing, if anything, to do with Jeff Monk. It's an entity by itself.
And there are people who aren't. You may not have seen this. There are lots of people that go to. I'm not on FetLife, where a lot of this first came out. So I only saw this because of friends of mine on Facebook sharing it. There are people that may not have seen this yet that are still going because they haven't. And should they be aware? Absolutely. I'm not saying people shouldn't be made aware of the situation. And again, in defense of the people that are now running the company, they aren't necessarily like lying about what's going on. They're trying to do damage control, yes, but listen to what Tammy said. There is an acknowledgement. Horrible things have been going on. Anger about the situation. Do they want to get into specifics? No, but there's legal issues and ramifications in doing so. Here's the other thing to keep in mind about attendees. If you're an attendee and you pull out right now, today, or even pulled out Monday, you probably got your hotel room refunded at this point for everything that we're hearing. You're out the cost of your ticket, or tickets if it's more than one person. There are people, I saw a post from a woman who paid for her son to fly to the area and get a hotel room and get tickets for the entire weekend. That's a substantial amount of money. And if you think you're going to get a refund from my airplane and an airline company on this kind of notice, I don't know what to tell you. Except you're kind of out of your mind. It's not going to happen at this point. And that's a lot of money for somebody to eat. A lot of these people we're not talking about rich people that could just change plans that quickly and eat the cost. And again, I'm not trying to guilt people who choose not to come. That's your right. That's your choice. That's great.
Perfectly understandable.
Yeah. But be respectful of the people that are financially or otherwise in a situation when they're going, whether they be performers or attendees.
And there's also a lot of us who want to believe that change is actually coming, that this stuff is no longer going to be tolerated, that there are implications that are going to be put in place. We want to believe that. I was saying to a friend earlier, it's almost like the wool has been pulled over some people's eyes and replaced with specific colored glasses.
And that's the position that I think everybody's in. Do we have anything else to add? I've covered the accusations. I've covered, like I said. Well, I'll go out on a limb on a couple. I don't think it's a big limb, but I'm going to go out on a limb on a couple of things here. At this point, I'm still supporting this event. I am going to put faith in people, not faith in wrongdoers, but faith in people I know. People like Mike Whitehouse and his wife. Faith, I'm going to put faith in Tammy. I haven't had a reason not to yet. That they are trying to make this right. I'm going to put faith in the performers that are trying to make a great event for people. I'm going to put faith in the better parts of this community, because there's lots of good people that like this event, that are furious about what happened, but they don't necessarily want to see the community that's been created die. And I don't want to see the community that's been created die either. There's some wonderful people involved.
Everybody loses if the community dies.
Yeah. Not
just Jeff, not just some of these perpetrators. Even some of the people who have come out with these accusations. And if they ever wanted to come back and could join the community, now that when it's safer and all this stuff's not going to happen anymore, they would no longer be able to do that.
They wouldn't be here. And people are saying, "Oh, just burn it and create a new event." After Wicked, I have some sympathy for the idea that maybe, and I'm not telling anybody their business, but I think there may be some value in dropping the names Wicked Faire and Steampunk World's Fair, as well as the JME abbreviation, not because there's anything wrong with those events, but because of the ugly reality that they now are going to carry the state of what happened. And that's not the fault of the new staff. That's not the fault of the previous staff that's still on, that's trying to do the right thing. It's just the nature of what's happened.
I actually have an idea for a name to rename it Wicked Faire. Phoenix Fair.
That would actually, yeah, Phoenix Fair I think would be a good name if people want to go that route. And I'm not, this is not an ultimatum situation. I'm not saying if they don't change the name, I'm going to be out. I'm waiting again. I want to see what happens. I want to see what happens. I'm going to this event, and I'm going to watch what other people decide to do, and make my decisions based on that. And if people honor their promises, then I'm excited to continue to be part of this. If they don't, then we'll know the truth. I will also say this. I have 3 performances this weekend. On Friday at 5 p.m., myself and Amisha and Brian McKinley will be doing a live broadcast here on YouTube from the event, Paranormal Encyclopedia Live. It should be an enormous amount of fun. I'm really looking forward to it. We did this at Dark Side of the Con last year. I had a really great time. I had a fun audience. I had some good questions. I'm looking forward to do it again at 11:30 p.m. Friday night. Really extra excitement. We're doing an event called Talking to the Dead. I am bringing my EVP recorder. I am bringing a ghost box. We're going to see what happens. I obviously cannot guarantee that dead people are going to talk to us, but it's a possibility. It should be kind of interesting. We'll see how it goes. And then another one I'm especially excited. This is a personal thing, big thing for me. As Amisha can tell you, I've invested a fair amount of money in getting this off the ground. Yes, end time at midnight on Friday. Or on Saturday, midnight on Saturday. I'm not doing 2 events. I'm a remarkable person, I'd like to think, but I can't do 2 events at the same time. I'm going to be doing a performance called Mentalism and Magic. I'm going to be combining mentalism, which, if anyone doesn't know what mentalism means, is stage magic, specifically related to psychic ability, mind control, things of that nature. It's a lot of fun. It's really neat. I've got some cool props and things I've bought just for this event. I've been practicing. I'm going to include some classical magical stuff. I have a set of the big 12-inch metal, solid metal linking rings. I'm going to do a performance with them. I don't know if I'm going to be up to using all 8 of mine, but I'm going to do it at least with 4. I'm going to stick a sword likely through her throat, although I may take a volunteer from the audience. There's going to be an enormous amount of audience participation. It's mostly going to run on it, in fact.
And I'm certain some of you know this name and have positive associations with this name, but part of it is as a tribute to the late Father Joseph Rose.
Yes, Father Joe was, if anyone doesn't recognize the name offhand, if anybody remembers the priest that would do panels with me at previous Jeff Mock events over the years, that would be Father Brose. He passed away last year. This is very much in his honor, which is also a very personal reason to be doing it for me. In addition to that, I will be there all Friday. I'll be getting there before 5 on Friday, obviously, because I'm going on almost immediately until late Friday night. I will not be staying at the event hotel. As much as I'd like to support the event, the event hotel is a little too expensive for me, and I'll be staying at another hotel in the area that will be more affordable for us. This is not any fault of the event. The reality is I went from being a full-time employee recently to getting my hours chopped in half, not through any fault of my own, just the reality of circumstances changed. That should be changing sometime in the next month, but for the moment, finances are very tight. My father, I've had to get some help from my father, just so we could do this at all. But I'll be there all day Friday. I'll be there all day Saturday. At this point, we're planning to be there Sunday. If you need safe space, if you need somebody to hang out with, who is reasonably trustworthy, come find me. Come find Amisha. You're welcome to come hang out with us.
Okay, it looks like a bunch of people have been commenting on YouTube.
Oh, and it's okay. If you've been commenting on YouTube, I very much apologize. For some reason, it isn't coming up here, even though I opened the group chat thing. What?
Somebody pointed out a good point. Phoenix Fair might not work because people might think it's in Arizona.
Yeah, that person has a legitimate point.
Yeah.
Is there any comments in particular I should address?
What are your viewpoints of them canceling the event?
What are the what point?
Viewpoints.
What are the viewpoints of them canceling the event? At this point, I spoke with Tammy Ships earlier, just before I started this video. They are not canceling the event.
And what about the fiscal issues behind the company now?
That's also a really good question, Christopher. I honestly don't know all of the details. My understanding is that Jeff is not financially involved in this. He is not going to take money from this. He is not going to show up. He's in fact outright banned from appearing. After this event, it is my understanding that they are trying to looking at the idea of buying the names or maybe trying to get them as a gift. I don't know. I can't comment on all that. I am not involved in the financial side of this, so I can't comment that directly beyond what I've seen and what I've been told.
And keep in mind, for the people who are like, well, why don't you just do that? It takes time to do these things. It takes time.
And it takes money.
Even if he stepped down today, it takes time for the legal ownership to go to somebody else.
Yeah, and he has I don't know if the word step down or remove, but he is out. At this point, all reports I'm seeing are out. He will not gain any salary from this.
He's not even allowed to be there.
He's not allowed to be there. What they're saying in terms of the finances is that the money they make is going to pay debts. It's going to pay performers they owe money to. It's going to pay other people that they owe money to. The people running, from what they're saying, and again, this is not objective. I can't prove this. I'm just going by what I'm being told, and the fact that I believe the people that are saying this. But from what I'm seeing, they're not drawing any. Tammy, of the White House, as everyone else involved, is not drawing money off of this. It's all going to pay debts.
Some of them are bleeding money.
Yeah. From the video she did last night, Tammy's put a fair amount of her own money into this, and I believe some of the others have as well, to try, because they want to see this event go off. They want to see it succeed. And this is something I have sympathy for. I have respect for. I don't want to see this community die. I don't want to see the event die. I understand all the concerns, and I think, Christopher, you're right about Phoenix Fair might be an awkward name.
It's something to consider. It's obviously like, just because I said it's not set in stone.
Hey, on the other hand, just worth considering, this is Wicked Faire Reborn, partly because, of course, Wicked Faire was canceled for 1 year last year, and now it's back. But that being said, maybe this could be a rebirth for the company. Maybe this could be a rebirth for the people involved. Let's try and change that into something more than it is now. How about the Voltagian Recharge Fair? Well,
considering a good chunk of people come there just to see Voltaire.
Yeah, and just the fact that a lot of people go to Recharge. Personally, I think I've got it. I've got the perfect idea. I think we should rename this Paranormal Encyclopedia Con. Or possibly Kevin Mears Topia. Just some personal thoughts out there. I'm not expecting anyone to take it, but I do want to say, give a shout out to my friend Arthur, who is going to be there at least Saturday. As he puts it, he understands the issues for vendors and performers, and that's why he's going. I will say I have massive respect to the people that are going there to support the vendors and the performers. I have respect for. And let me be clear as well. I have respect for the people who don't feel safe doing so. I totally understand that. I understand that some of the changeovers that may need to happen can't happen just because they don't have time to do that.
Something real quick. Yeah, keep talking.
Okay, blah 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 blah.
There, so now you can see both chat windows.
Smart woman. This is why I keep her around, folks. She's a smarty. And, she's cute. But
I was actually just thinking, with all the bending over I've been doing, I should have worn a lower cut shirt.
Yeah, get her views up. That, I think, covers the situation as it stands.
I guess as a recap a little bit for people who weren't here, because now we're at 6 viewers watching.
Now that our viewers have gone up, and for anyone who's tuning in late, who's not aware of the situation, and of course, that's a Mark Flyer shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but one of the most regular commenters apparently noticed. I didn't even know that, Christopher. So for those of you who are just tuning in and wondering what I've been babbling about for the last, how long has this been going? While now. We'll just go with while since I have no idea. It's definitely been a while. So, I'm talking about Jeff Monk events, which are now known as Just Magical Events, specifically Wicked Faire. There's been a series of allegations that have come out in the last week. Oh, that's something else I should address, and I'll get to in a second after I finish the recap, which is why they only came out in the last week. But last week, a series of sexual abuse allegations have come out against staff and against Jeff Monk himself. And for that matter, a whole bunch of accusations about people being owed money have come out. I have been a regular attendee to these events, as has my fiancée Misha, as has been many of my friends. So I have felt the urge to come forward and talk about this situation. I in no way support or condone any of the abuse allegations that have been made, nor the money that has been lost. I am a firm believer in the position of believe the victims. And apparently Arthur says it's been 41 minutes, so it's been over 41 minutes now of me talking. Wow, I didn't mean to go this long, but that's okay. But I believe the people making the accusations. I don't know all the facts. I don't know all the people making them. I don't know all the sides of the story, but I'm a believer in believe the victim. I know, and for that matter, I do know some of the people that are in the financial side of this, and I have a lot of respect for them. Again, I don't want to drop names because that's for them and their privacy issues. I don't want to wade into a morass without being sure somebody would want me to do so.
It's their private business. It's up to them to share.
Exactly. So real quick, the point of all of this is to say the reason I am doing this, the reason I am still going, is there are vendors and performers who cannot financially pull out of this event. They have contractual obligations to fill. They've spent large amounts of money to pay to get there and do everything that they need to do. I respect that. I believe in supporting that. I do recommend that people who are considering dropping out and not attending, specifically over a desire for revenge, not do so. One, because word is from on the top, Jeff is not involved in these events anymore. Jeff is not drawing a salary from these events anymore. The money that is going into the event, we're told, is going to pay debts. I want to support paying those debts. So if you're not going out of a sense of revenge, I recommend you reconsider. If you're not going because you don't feel safe, I'm not trying to put pressure on you. I totally respect that.
There was a period of time where I was considering not going because of all the allegations coming out.
And not all, Jeff's gone. Not all the other people there are other people that allegations have been made against. I can't speak about all of them. And from what I understand, there's been some concern about trying to sort through everything, given they've had all of a week to process. So if you don't feel safe, that's fine. I will still be performing. I am performing at 5 p.m. midnight, or 11:30 on Friday and midnight on Saturday. We will be there throughout the weekend, regardless. Feel free to come hang out with me if you want someone to hang out with who will and have a safe sense of safety and comfort. I will not be staying over at the hotel for financial reasons. Unfortunately, I've lost too many hours at work. I just can't afford the higher price there. No disrespect to the convention. It's a very lovely hotel. I would stay there if I could afford it.
That it would cost us twice as much.
Yeah, literally, the room would be double what we're paying. That would be the entire reason we're not staying there. Now, all of this said, I do want to address one more thing before I cut out, which is a legitimate question that's been going around, and I've had it as well, which is, why has all this come out in a week? It's a good question. And there's been speculation that it's some sort of conspiracy. I just saw something today from someone saying that somebody's trying to take over Steampunk World's Fair in particular, and I would think of all the events that the company runs, it'd probably be the most likely, because Steampunk World's Fair is the largest steampunk convention on the planet. But there is a simpler reason. River Ryan saying he some shall light on it this himself. Christopher, if I'm wrong, please correct me, but my understanding is this. So Jeff, a week ago, posted on his Facebook a request for more volunteers. This led a number of previous volunteers and staff who have been poorly treated coming forward, commenting on what happened, and more of them commenting on what happened. And it started to snowball, and there's the Owl's Eye View blog that has been collecting all of these accounts and getting first-hand accounts and even putting up responses. And my understanding is that's why this has blown up in the last week, is it's been a snowball response to the original request for more volunteers. If anyone has additional information on that, please let me know. Yeah, Christopher saying, yeah, a lot of the ones that had some vitriol lately decided to speak up, and it hit within the larger community.
Yeah, because that's sadly some of the things. Just because somebody speaks out doesn't mean that everybody has heard it. And now everybody's hearing it.
And it's important. I will definitely say it is important that at least that kind of allegations come to light. People need to be aware. My heart goes out again to wrap this up, because I think it's time to go. And actually, I'll go into quick what I'm doing next, because it does relate to my part of Wicked Faire. Or as I said, Paranormal Encyclopedia Con. I'm just saying, it's a great name. But my heart goes out to the victims, both the financial, but especially those that have been the targets of sexual abuse. I have the utmost empathy for you. My heart goes out to you. If there's anything I can do, let me know. This, with all due respect, even to Michael Whitehouse and to Tammy and the others, my supporting this event as much as anything is because I want to help the people that are going, the vendors and performers who are going to be adversely affected if it's canceled. YGM, by the way, Kevin?
I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
Yeah, but I do like the comment beforehand, and that now people are getting more comfortable with coming out, and they should.
Yeah, absolutely.
They should not be having to worry about backlash and all that kind of stuff for coming out about what's going on.
Oh, you got mail.
I'll
check that out when I get a second, Christopher. And that, I have to say that is something I want to say. The legacy of these events, whatever happens from here, aside from the negative legacy, I do want to comment at least on one part of the positive that's come out of this. At least in my life as a slightly conservative Christian dude, the culture of Believe the Victims wasn't a big part of my life prior to getting involved in Jeff Mock events. But I've been to events, I've seen speakers come out. Well, he's a horrible example, and perhaps, and there is a case of practice what you preach, and even some of the comments that Jeff has made at various times has introduced me to the, not that I ever was necessarily a person who disbelieved them, but has helped cement the importance of believing the victims in my mind, and I think the minds of others. And bringing the importance of consent, particularly in the poly kink community, to the forefront, which is a wonderful positive thing. The fact that some of the performers and some of the things that are going on on the public side of things, it's the backroom things that have been covered up in horrible ways. Has brought some things to out and help people, maybe help people feel a little better about this. And I love, at least as a communal group, not just as an event, that there has been that mindset for some years now, and I think that's a positive thing. I think the community that has been created is a good community. All communities sadly have predators. All communities have bad eggs. But when you look at the attendees, there are a lot of wonderful people that come to these events. They didn't stop being wonderful people because of what happened. It's not they're not involved. And I love and respect those people. And I love and respect, that's, I think, everything I have to say on the subject. Do you want to add anything?
Not that I can think of.
Anybody in chat have anything they'd like me to say on the air related to this before somebody says something smart-ass? Or anything smart-ass for that matter.
Since when are you against smart-ass?
Exactly. I will be having Tammy on the show. We love you too, boss. Thank you. On the show tomorrow, I've already spoken with her about that to let her air some things. It's not going to be another hour of talking about all of this. Too easy, fair enough. Mostly because I don't want to do another hour talking about this. It's depressing enough to do it once. But we'll be talking about the event. We'll be talking about plans for the future. We'll be talking about the paranormal because apparently she's interested in that. We'll go from there. I don't know if she'll be, she's already going to be at the event hotel. I don't know if she'll be available the whole hour. I don't know if we'll switch at some point. But she'll be on at least at the beginning. Please remember to tune in. You can listen to that at hamiltonradio.net or on our Facebook group of Paranormal Encyclopedia. I also want to reiterate, because I want to self-promotion plug related to the event, that I'm very pleased to announce that as I finish this recording, I'm going to be starting the third of a series of 4 lectures on teaching people how to investigate the paranormal. The first 2 already are done. The first one being a basic layout of what the class is, its intentions, and what the different types of paranormal investigator are, motivations, and things of that nature. The second one is a discussion of ghosts, angels, demons, fairies, elementals, how to tell what type of haunting you have. The one I'm going to be recording now is going to be about the single most important tool in the paranormal investigator's toolbox. And then I will round out the 4 that I'll be offering at this event. There will be more down the road, which will be a video on electronic voice phenomenon, also known as EVP, and the ghost box. I'm going to be playing around with them while I do that one, so you'll actually get to see it going. I like from my friend Arthur, paranormal investigation, how not to touch the magical happy fun ball. I think at this point the cost for we're going to put the episodes on thumb drives. The cost is probably going to be $30. I think it's probably going to be about $40. We are going to offer them online as well, for probably slightly less, just because you're not paying for a thumb drive. But that is happening. We're going to have this done by I'm going to have this done by Wicked, even though I'm still slightly sick. This means I still have about 2.5 more hours of recording. This is going to be an extra special secret bonus episode on there for people who pay for the thumb drive. But that wraps this up, folks. This is my thoughts, my opinions. I'm not associated. Keep in mind, I'm not in any way an employee of Just Magical Events or Jeff Mock Events. This is a personal opinion taken as such. For those of you who are coming, I'm looking forward to seeing you. Please stop by and say hello. For those who aren't coming, I wish you the best. And I understand. I don't begrudge you that. And for the victims, my heart goes out to you. You're in my prayers. Good night, good afternoon, everyone, because it's not evening. But everything else I do, and God bless. What?
Shannon was saying, okay, give me your guys' address. I'm getting you a new calendar. The calendar is 2014.
Yes, if somebody wants to send us a new calendar while I, actually shut this down, feel free. Especially, why do we still have your sister on the calendar? She's not even in the country anymore. It's like,
No, I can't close. Oh, wait. Duh, Kevin. And disconnect.